They say a man should not cry, but what else can the wounded do when the pain becomes the sea inside his chest? My tears fall upon the sands, salty as the ocean I cannot reach. The desert drinks them greedily, but it does not give them back. It buries them, like it buries secrets, like it buries hope. I try to stop, but the tears do not listen. They are rivers breaking their banks, waves crashing against the cliffs of my pride. I cover my face with my hands, yet still, the salt of grief burns my lips. I imagine her touch, how she would have brushed my tears away, how her voice would have steadied my heart. Now there is no hand to comfort me, no whisper to guide me, only the endless bleeding of a wound that no time can close. The desert winds rise, lifting the grains of sand into my eyes. It is as though the earth itself wants me blind, so that I may no longer chase the mirages of her shadow. But blindness would be mercy, for even without sight, my heart would still bleed. Her absence is written, not only upon my skin, but deeper, in the marrow of my soul. It is the salt of my tears, the ache of my breath, the silence of my nights. And as the moon fades, I whisper to the winds, take my tears to her. Let her know that even in absence, she still commands the ocean of my heart. A palace can stand tall, its marble glowing in the sun, its halls filled with music and light, yet inside, a man can be nothing more than ruins. I walk the corridors of my home. Gold hangs from the ceilings, perfumes fill the air, but none of it reaches me. Every step I take echoes with loneliness. Every corner I pass reminds me of her absence. Where she once sat, there is only an empty cushion. Where she once laughed, there is only silence. Even the servants lower their eyes, afraid to meet the gaze of a man who has become a shadow of himself. I sit at the head of the table, but the food tastes like dust. I rest in the majlis, but the cushions feel like stone. I walk the gardens, but the flowers bloom without color. It is not the palace that is empty. It is me. Her absence has turned my heart. It ruins walls crumbling, arches broken, pillars cracked, and no architect can restore what has fallen apart within. Even if the world kneels before me, even if my name shines in history, what worth is it when my heart is rubble and my soul lies buried beneath it? She was the foundation. Without her, I am a palace of dust, a throne of shadows, a wound that will never heal. Tonight I give my grief a funeral, not with priests or prayers, but with the silence of the dunes. I kneel in the desert, marking a grave with my hands, not for her, for she lives still somewhere beyond the horizon, but for the man I used to be, before her absence carved me hollow. I bury my laughter first. It was once loud and fearless, but it has no place here now. Then I bury my joy, wrapping it in memories, that taste of her perfume. Lastly I bury my strength, for even that has left me, scattered like dust in the wind. The desert watches, silent and merciless. The falcons circle above, but they do not cry out. Even the stars remain hidden, refusing to shine upon my sorrow. And when I finish, I mark the mound of sand with a stone. Here lies the man I was. Here lies the laughter, the joy, the strength, all buried beneath her absence. What remains is a shadow, a ghost wandering the dunes, a man who carries a wound so deep that even death envies its eternity. The desert is my witness. It has seen my funeral. It has taken my tears, my voice, my hope, and still it whispers, her absence is the wound that never heals. Carry it, Prince of Sands, for it is now your crown. Some wounds bleed for a moment, then the body remembers its strength. It closes, it heals, it becomes a scar of the past. But her absence is not like that. It is not a memory, not a scar, not something time can bury. It is an eternal bleeding, a cut that deepens with every breath. Each morning I rise, hoping the wound will lessen, but when the sun touches my face, it burns instead of warms. The wound awakens with me, and it whispers, "She is not here, she will not walk these sands, she will not share your sky." I ride across the desert, and still the wound rides with me. I gallop faster, as if I can outrun it, but it clings to my chest like armor of fire. The falcons cry above, but their voices are not healing. They are reminders of freedom that I no longer feel. At night I remove my cloak, but the wound remains. I lie on silken cushions, but the wound digs deeper. I close my eyes, but even my dreams bleed. This is not a wound the body carries. This is a wound of the soul. It will never close, never scar, never allow me peace. It will mark me until my last breath, until the sands cover my body, until even the desert forgets my name. Her absence is the eternal scar that defines me more than my crown, more than my victories, more than my poetry. It is the truth of who I am. A man broken, bleeding in silence, living with a wound that no time can heal. When a man has lost everything, when his kingdom feels like ashes, when his heart is nothing but ruins, he turns to the only refuge left, a prayer whispered into the vastness. Tonight I kneel beneath the desert sky. No stars guide me, no moon comforts me, but still I pray. I pray not for her return, for I know the winds may never carry her back. I pray not for my wound to close, for it is carved too deep, etched into my eternity. I pray only for strength, the strength to carry this wound with dignity, the strength to walk the dunes without collapsing into them, the strength to let the falcons see me as their master still, even when I feel like nothing but a shadow of myself. My prayer is raw, a cry that rises above the silence. The desert listens, the dunes hold their breath. The falcons circle quietly, as though they too are waiting for the answer. And in the stillness, I feel the faintest shift, not healing, not joy, not hurt, but a whisper of endurance, a reminder that even wounds can be carried like crowns. If a man has the will, so I rise, my chest still bleeding, my heart still broken, my night still starless, but I walk forward. For though her absence is the wound that never heals, it is also the proof that I loved with a fire, stronger than time, stronger than death, stronger than the silence of the desert. And if this is the burden I must carry, then let the world see me, not as a man broken, but as a man who bled for love, and still walked the sands, with pride.